All right, hey guys, Danny with Danny Gustin Fitness Podcast here with my co-host Nico Dato. We are just going to be busting some myths today about fitness. So some of the top ones: no pain, no gain. You can spot reduce belly fat. Lifting weights make you bulky. Carbs are bad. More sweat equals better workouts. So we're gonna get into it. Thanks for being with us. All right, we're back at it.
Back at it.
So here to talk about fitness myths that just won't die. All right. So some of the big ones here, and we're just going to go through them.
Yeah. Speedy quick.
So no pain, no gain.
I'm starting with that one. So that's one I definitely, well, obviously these are myths, so I disagree with that. Why do I disagree with that? I think there's plenty of opportunity to have that mentality of training super hard, right? Getting after it. But you can also do more harm than good training that way, I feel like, especially if you're not prioritizing proper rest. And I feel like as long as you're really just progressive overload, if you're trying to gain muscle, for example, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, really. As long as you're just better than the last time you were at it, you know? Add some reps, add some weight. That's what progressive overload is.
Isn't it funny that it's so simple?
Yeah, it really is.
Like progressive overload sounds so fancy,
right? But
it's really just do more than last time.
Yeah,
whether that's reps, increasing the tempo, weight, etc.
So what would you add to that? What I just said?
I would just say and I would also say what type of pain.
Right.
Like if we're talking about
it's a good point.
Joint pain, well then, first off, there's tons of nuance to working through joint pain, but I would just say if you're a healthy person with no joint issues, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Right? It's like what came up, or it's like what, we actually brought this up on a recent podcast where we were talking about some of the signs of good trainers, and like we brought up a scenario about like a guy benching and doing this, right? And kind of going to what you were saying with the progressive overload thing is, that one rep isn't going to make you stronger.
It's not going to make or break it,
If you put the work in before that, you're already set.
Yeah.
Your body is going to bounce back and want to be stronger, build, etc. You don't need to do it. There's only risk after that one rep. You're only doing it for your ego.
For sure.
Any sort of chemical mechanism that's going to take place for you to grow and get stronger from there already happened.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd say you're spot on. Just be patient, consistent, tap into progressive overload. And just, again, no pain, no gain is, I think I only believe in no pain, no gain when we're talking about mental pain. Yeah. Meaning like become mentally tough.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you're stopping because you're like, this is hard, right? Like, then that's probably not, and we all have days, right?
Yeah,
and some of us, we need to build up that.
Yeah.
Like that mental toughness is like a muscle. But I would just say, that's really the only area other than a muscle burn that I feel is like pain that you can lean into.
For sure.
But if it's joint pain or sort of...
No joint pain,
But it does, again, that happens with time, right? Because maybe some people, I'm sure you've trained too, that pain at first might be concerning to them.
They might not know how to identify what proper pain is.
Exactly.
For working out. Yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's big too. But kind of in summary, I would say progressive overload, be patient, just make sure it's good muscle pain.
And just consistency, because if you're going crazy all the time, you're not going to be able to stay consistent. Because you're going to get burned out. I could tell you from experience, like I've trained that way, and it's like you'll get burnt out for sure.
Yeah.
If that's the only way you're training all the time.
Yeah.
So it's about consistency. That's
a great point.
Yeah.
Hey guys, quick break here. Just want to ask you guys to like, subscribe, and share the content with others who you think would benefit if you found this video helpful or any of our videos. Also, please comment. At the end of the day, we do these videos for you. We love your feedback. We'll always reply to the comments in the comment section and keep them in mind for future videos. Great point. Number 2, you can spot reduce belly fat. No, you can't. All right, next one.
Right.
No, but some people ask questions like that, like, okay, I really want to lose it here. Well, first off, to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit. In order to or just, whether that's burning more calories than you're consuming less calories than you're burning, or some combination. That's how it happens. Your body takes from everywhere. Now, obviously, there's some areas that accumulate more fat, and so your body's going to be more prone to pulling fat. Like, let's say a lot of people hold it in their butt or their stomach or their love handles or their boobs or pecs or whatever, right? But you can't pick it.
No,
it's just going to happen where it's going to happen.
It's going to do it where it wants.
So.
And that a lot of people think that too. Have you worked with people that like, oh, I want to do more core exercises?
Yeah.
To lose that fat there. And
it doesn't work like that.
No.
Core exercises will help you.
It'll tone it, yeah. But you gotta
toning meaning building muscle. So
yeah.
you're kind of having the muscle show and pop more. I had an ex-girlfriend who she did like those light therapy things on the stomach, and I've had clients do that, and that's fine if you're going to the beach the next day. Because you would have everything's a bit more dehydrated there. So things will pop. So you can look like a hero for about 24 hours, but start drinking some water again and eating some carbs, and you didn't actually reduce fat. You just dehydrated that area essentially.
Gotcha,
right?
yeah.
So I don't know. Would you add to that in any particular way?
No, it is fairly straightforward, that one too. You just can't do it. You can't spot reduce fat.
It's just
straight. That's what it is.
So lifting weight makes you bulky.
Okay, we did a podcast on this one time. I feel like
with Tina.
And I think Josh talked about it one time. But the one thing I always say, and I think Josh said it on one of the podcasts, is I'm naturally a skinnier person, and I lift heavy, I would say.
Yeah.
And I've done it for a while, and I'm not bulky, right? So it's I think people, especially women, think that, right? So they don't realize what it actually. I mean, you'd have to eat in a high calorie surplus, all sorts of factors, but it's very unlikely. The whole getting bulky thing. I don't know if you agree or not, but you have to lift really heavy, and again, that's if you're eating in crazy surpluses. I feel like maybe there's a chance, but even for women, it's a lot different because of the way the body works.
Yeah. By the way, dude, you have been looking great lately. Have you been packing on some muscle?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really measured
It's just those sleeves, man.
Thank you.
It's popping out.
I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
but even then,
your traps are looking bigger too.
Mm-hmm. Even then, though, I still don't consider myself bulky. I'm just
you just look muscular.
Yeah. So, what is your definition of bulky?
I think that's an important part.
Yeah.
What are we talking about when we say bulky?
What does bulky mean? Yeah.
Does bulky mean that you have extra body fat? Because if bulky means...
It could mean that, I guess.
If bulky means you have extra body fat, then that means you need to reduce your body fat. Yeah. That has nothing really to do with strength training and muscle building. Right? That just means you'll look leaner once you have less fat.
Yeah.
Right? That's what toning is. People think toning is its own unique thing.
Yeah.
Toning is just having muscle and showing it.
Yeah.
So you either need to build more muscle if you're really skinny, or you need to lose fat to uncover the muscle you have if you're overweight.
Yeah.
Or some combination of the two. Another factor is, you're taller and leaner, right? And I'm more stout.
That matters too.
And Ryan's a great example, right? Everyone would probably look at him and think he's bulky.
Yeah.
But Ryan's also 5'6", right? So imagine if Ryan was 6 feet tall.
Right.
He'd look totally different. So sometimes that bulkiness could be a result of just your genetics and how tall you are, the shape, your frame.
That's a big part of it.
You're a little more stout.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a big part of it.
So I think that's part of it. So what does that mean? But if you're thinking bulky is a result of
weight training.
Yeah, weight training. No, it's more than likely what you're really referring to is you just need to lose some body fat.
Yeah.
Or just accept that you have a different body type than someone like Nico, right? Or someone even taller than Nico, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
everybody's uniquely different.
Exactly. We just got to accept that and make the most of it.
Yes.
So next is carbs are bad. So carbs are bad. Well, I feel a little hypocritical to an extent because sometimes I do say carbs are bad, but I'll tell you why. Okay, so to me, there's two different directions with carbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so for some people, and this is where I kind of am in the carbs have been bad for me at times under the wrong conditions is for blood sugar's sake, for the idea of mental sharpness and mental acuity, having bad timing with the carbs or eating like carbs that spike your blood sugar and they're not balanced in a balanced diet, right? That I think is bad, right?
Sure.
So if you're just spending all day just eating carb heavy meals that are processed or refined or not a lot of fiber, or not buffered with protein and fat, you're just gonna feel like crap a lot of the day, right? And you and I have talked about that, and that really bothers me. Like to an extent, I'm willing to forego some of my fitness results to have mental sharpness.
Oh yeah,
and
we both know what it's like when you're getting that crash.
Sucks.
It's the worst feeling.
It really feels like I'm in prison.
Yeah,
like in my own body. I know I'm not tired. I just feel like
it's the worst feeling.
It sucks. So for that, I'm willing to forego some fitness results. So that being said, okay, well, why would you be foregoing fitness results, Danny? Because carbs are the number one fuel source for strength training.
Yeah.
And athletic. Anything high intensity, carb is the preferred fuel source. So I definitely have experienced that other end where I've not eaten enough carbs and haven't really felt all that strong during a workout, and then had another day where I was definitely carbed up and I felt like a tank in the gym.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's that balance.
You can feel the difference if you're aware enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say is my own personal philosophy and what I recommend to people is just, hey, eat enough carbs to fuel your athletic performance, but not so many carbs, or at least not the right the right type of carbs in the right balance to where you're having steady energy throughout the day. Because I don't really know anybody who digs having food crashes all the time.
Oh no.
Right?
Yeah.
What would you add to that?
Not much. I really agree with everything you said, especially the timing aspect, because I've seen that myself, like before workouts, having a good carb.
Yeah.
You feel the difference for sure.
And sometimes carbs will affect you differently. So you're more insulin sensitive in the mornings.
Right.
So your body's ready to drive those carbs to your cells. And so if you eat a carb heavy meal first thing in the morning, it's going to suck, right?
Yeah.
Like I can eat pancakes for dinner and I'll feel fine.
Because then you're chilling.
Yeah, and because you're more insulin resistant as the day goes on.
Yeah.
So you're not likely to have that.
Right.
But if you eat a big stack of pancakes first thing, and every time I do something like that, a carb-heavy meal first thing in the morning, I'm like, I might as well just go back to bed.
I knew you were going to, because you've said that before. I know what you're talking about.
I'm like calling all my clients.
Like going out to breakfast with the family every once in a while, and it's like, let me get some side of pancakes or something. Yeah, get home. It's like I need a nap.
Or immediately go to the gym.
Yeah,
just go right now. Yeah. Use those pancakes.
Tell my family to drop me off.
Just peel into the parking lot. I have to use these carbs.
I only have a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Yep. So last one is more sweat equals better workout.
Yeah, wrong on that again. I mean, that ties to like the first one.
It's a lot like the spot reduction one. It's just sort of like,
I mean,
that's just not true.
You have to, Say it one more time.
More sweat equals a better workout.
I mean, I just worked out and I didn't sweat at all, and I felt great. I had a great workout. I don't know how else to explain that.
And I think some of it has to do with what type of workout are you doing. You just did some strength training.
I did. It was a rate. Yes. If
it
was a cardio-based workout, I would have sweat.
You would sweat more at least.
Yeah.
Right? And also, I think genetics play a huge role in that.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that because it takes a lot for me to sweat. But I know some people also that it's easier to sweat. So,
dude, I used to have a client. I did push him hard, mind you, but I pushed a lot of my clients hard.
Yeah.
This guy would actually squirt sweat. It was crazy. Shout out to my boy Mark. I won't say your last name. But he would literally squirt sweat. Like I'd be standing, we'd be working out, and I had him do a lot of high intensity stuff.
Yeah.
But he would be like, as
Like
far
it's
as the
projecting, like-
camera is, and I'd see it. I'd see it all of a sudden, like,
Dude, that is
shoot out of his
crazy.
head.
I've never heard that in my
It
life.
was crazy.
That's
It was
nuts.
wild. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so, and, you know, like one of our trainers, Francisco here.
Yeah.
Francisco's profusely sweating, just cleaning equipment.
Yeah.
My buddy Leo's like that.
Yeah.
you
Some
know?
people are. Yeah. I'm on the other end of it. Like it takes a lot for me.
Me
I
too.
don't know why, but
The only thing that really gets me sweating a lot is if I'm doing steady state cardio for a long time.
yeah.
You know, like maybe I've just been
Yeah,
doing
for
a
a long
jog
time.
or a bike ride. Even
Yeah.
then, I don't really sweat all
Even
that
that,
much.
I was gonna say like if I'm gonna sweat, it'd be from something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get it in first, like like the back a little bit, low
yeah,
back.
yeah. You can
But-
feel it like making your shirt stick
but
to you a little
dude,
bit.
like as far as like sweat in the face, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to be doing something crazy in some
Yeah.
high heat. That
Yeah.
takes a lot for me.
Yeah, that's
The
another
face
thing.
sweat
Heat.
in the heat.
Yeah,
you know?
that's such a good point. I mean, temperature plays such a huge
Yeah.
role in that too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it says better workout. So I just want to clarify.
Oh right.
It's
yeah.
not going to make your workout better. You're not seeing better results. You're not
Yeah.
you're not getting stronger because of that. You're not burning more calories because of that. You're not having a better cardiovascular workout because of that. All you're doing is losing water.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. So which myth did you guys believe in until today?
Yeah.
Right?
Comment it.
Please let us know. And if there's a myth we didn't list, we'd love to hear it. Maybe it's something we can address in the next one. So thanks, Nico.
Thank you.